Hey there, welcome to another episode of the EYF Podcast, EYFpodcast.com, coming to you today from YouTube.
Yes, welcome everybody. And if you like what you're hearing and seeing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you know anybody who needs some hope and encouragement, please share with them.
And how could you not like what you're seeing anyway? I don't know about the hearing thing, but
I know.
Hey, don't hate me, Anyhow, today we're here to talk about one of our favorite interviews, and I think, and it actually is, it was probably our most favorite interview, so I'm sorry if I offended anybody else out there. But we'll always tell everybody their favorite interview, but as all of them are. But anyway, we're talking to Ron Hardin before, and most of you probably don't know who Ron Hardin is, but you will after listening to this podcast on YouTube. But Ron's written the book God's Mail, but that's not what this book, that's not what this podcast was all about.
Yeah, no, it didn't start off that way. Ron tells his story so well, and he's authentic. I mean, he doesn't hide anything. He was in a rough spot. I mean, me and Dave were talking about it. It was like watching a movie, like with all this action going on, and you're just like, what's going to happen next? And we were literally we didn't know what to say,
Yeah, it was just one of those things where, somebody gets on and they start telling their story and you just let them tell their story because there's nothing that you could add or interject that's going to add anything of substance and value. And one of the things we were laughing about earlier was that it's like it's like hearing something at 33, but it sounds like it's a 45. It's at a much greater speed because Ron talks about a mile a minute.
Yeah.
And you have to listen. You have to just sit down and listen. And Ron's a prophet.
Yes.
And if you don't know what that is Ron gets, according to him, I guess the best way to say it is he gets leanings or promptings from the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. God speaks to him about people and situations. And he's been, I think it was, he mentioned senators. He's actually spoken over senators, people in the White House and government.
The Graham family.
Yeah, Billy Graham. I mean, he is as well connected in that way as anybody we've ever come across. And what he started doing is he started writing this book called God's Mail. And this is volume 2, and he has 3 volumes total together in there. But what was that whole thing? Yeah,
so the idea behind it is that Ron would get a message and it would be about his congregation or people at his church, and so he would write out the message and then he would leave it on the pew. And
he would write it out from the Holy Spirit.
Right, exactly, yeah, from that point of view. And then so people would open up these things and then, and it was like, who's it from, and it's
right, it was from God.
God's mail.
It became God's mail. And so he compiled all these, and people started, I believe, giving him back so that he could compile these books of God's mail that he did for people. And everything came true. So none of this stuff was, you didn't have to reach. It's not like you called the psychic hotline, and that kind of garbage. I mean, this is coming straight from God. Yeah. And so if you've ever had the pleasure, and I hope you do someday, because you can reach out to Ron, and we would love to share, maybe have Ron come on and do an interview on YouTube for us so that people could see him, because he's just an absolute joy to listen to.
Yeah, and just to cross-reference, if you want to authenticate the story, Heath Hutchins, his story is amazing too. We'll put that one up here, so watch out for that one, because those two things go hand in hand. It's just crazy. It'll blow your mind.
And so that one's coming up. Actually, that's going to be released on our podcast channel here in the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. His story comes out, and so the two of them are together. So yeah, it's definitely something to do. But anyway, if you're ever doubting about whether or not God is real, just listen to his people.
Yeah.
And Ron is one of those people, and I'm telling you right now, you will be amazed by taking the time today to listen to Ron. And by the way, it's Ron Hardin, and his book is God's Mail. We'll link all that in the show notes as well. So anyhow, thanks for stopping by today. Like and subscribe. We hope that you enjoy what it is you're hearing and seeing. And it's like we always like to say, have a great day. I got this right this time. And God bless. Yeah.